too after a long time.
Likewise.
And I just wanted to say a few words from IAALV's side. I'm still at it after so many 31 years or 32 years. And I have Arun Kumar and also Sudhakar Neti still with us from last 25 years.
Yes.
So I remember Shapon arriving at IAALV when young orthodontists and Zubeda arriving with you two were only one at the time. Now you are parents of proud 3 children. We are also proud. But I remember vividly your support during those years when you joined IAALV. The name change and the new direction was underway. So your contribution, I remember every time, and everyone I speak to, I always talk about you two. But what is more important is your continued support over the years, which really makes it a long-term, relationship. And I am really particularly very elated about your words that it gave our community a better representation. And the name change and the new direction, I mean. And I also want to say that you continually support the community, IAALV, with your words, and not only your fine words, but with your deeds. And I am also very happy that Science Olympiad, you actually asked us to collaborate with you. So even though we didn't have a major role there, you were the one, the architect and running with that program. And STEM education is so important. So I'm very happy that IAALV was able to be part of that endeavor at the time. And then your continued support helped us to really took your well-thought money given to us, gave us the opportunity to actually recognize our children through plaques and other programs they take. I wish you all the success in your life. Your 3 children are doing well, and we are very happy. And at the same time, we like to say thank you for receiving the award from our side. I want to take a moment to thank Anita Baru for actually nominating you and our Vijay Gandhinagar to actually second it. And I am just the conduit. I was given this responsibility, but I'm happily doing it. And I want to really thank you thank you for your continued support. We love people like you to come forward and tell us what we are doing wrong, what we are doing right, where we need to be. The associations are not mortal. They are mortal. They are not immortal. So they have to change course every now and then, depending on the situation and the new generations need. Please help us. Please have a good day. Thank you. Have a good life. And I still remember, you're still young. 30 years ago, no hair loss, nothing. You two are looking really great. And you became a good family friend of ours. And on a personal note, your mentoring of Pia, our middle daughter, was very important at the crucial moment. Although she did not pursue dentistry, she went into medicine, but she was on the right path. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashimda. Thank you,
Ashimda.
And thank you, IAALV, for presenting us this award. It's right here with us.
Yeah, let me see it. Oh, very good. Very nice. It was all done by Anita and Vijay.
Sure, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great
I would like to even thank our Science Olympiad family, all the students, the middle school, high school students, and of course, all the parents made this program very successful. And I mean, it's all a collaborative effort, it's a team effort, which of course we are very grateful and thankful to their entire Science Olympiad family. A lot of people here watching, they know what everybody did, together, as a team.
If in the future, if you need IAALV on your side to support you, we are here.
Sure.
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you so much.
I would like Shalini to take over now and formally introduce Zubeda and Sam.
Sure.
Hi, Shalini.
Shalini, you're muted.
It's muted, yeah.
Shalini, you're muted.
It's muted, Shalini, here.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
You can start all over again. That's all right. We can see
I was just quoting Michelle Obama. She has rightly said that success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. So I'm Shalini Khandelwal. I'm honored to be part of this wonderful program. So far, the cultural program went very well. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And we are going into this next segment of the program where I will be recognizing a few individuals on behalf of IAALV, people who have contributed to the community in some or the other way, which was very significant, made a significant difference in the society. So to begin with, first and foremost, Ashinda already introduced you, but I would like to, for the Outstanding Achievement Award this year, I would like to welcome Dr. Sam Ghosh and Zubeda Ghosh. They have been great friends of IAALV, like Ashinda mentioned, since 1993. Dr. Ghosh is a renowned orthodontist in the area. Most of us actually know Dr. Ghosh and Zubeda as mentors of the Science Olympiad program. And for Springhouse Middle School, they have been the founders of it, and with their outstanding vision, dedication, commitment, they have instilled the love of science in young kids in the area. And they were able to put Parkland School District, the school district Science Olympiad team on the US map, not once. It was a few times. And they are strong supporters of IAALV. Like Ashinda mentioned that you've always supported IAALV's mission and have donated monetarily as well as and when needed to various causes. So let's hear what Dr. Ghosh and Zubeda also have to say. Welcome to the show. Sam and Zubeda, once again, thanks for being with us here today. And as mentors of this program, Science Olympiad program, we would like you to tell us why you think STEM education is so important.
Thank you, Shalini. Right. And of course, Happy Republic Day to all. Didn't say that.
Thank you.
Of course, like STEM education, in my opinion, is important to young children and even adolescents, any age. It increases like science literacy in the kids. And you get to be innovators and inventors. And, eventually, you'll be... you'll be like the next Dr. Anthony Fauci or the next Bill Gates, eventually in your life, if you follow and study science, technology, engineering and math. And of course, it's basically science education also bridges, ethnic and ethnic and gender gap. Basically we find that a lot in science and math field, where the ethnic and gender gap is always there. So it bridges the gap between the ethnic and gender gap. And, young children, if you start at a young age, they can be good, they can be good leaders, they develop leadership skills. And of course, you work collaboratively with your teammate. So it's a team effort, and you can make your own decision. You can be a good decision maker, a problem solver, and you can, be very good in entrepreneurship too. So, I mean, if Sam can take over if he wants to.
Yeah, sure, Sam, please.
No problem. Thank you, Shalini. Thank you to IAALV, and thanks to everybody for presenting us this award. I'd also like to share this stage with all the other awardees. I think IAALV is doing an excellent job recognizing our young talent. And, you know, and you quoted Michelle Obama. I shall quote Hillary Clinton. Once upon a time, she said that it takes a community, or it takes a village to raise a child. I think so. You know, we're part of a nice little village here in the Lehigh Valley. And, you know, everybody's participation is important. And, you know, we try to do our part the best as we could to bring this awareness. To answer your question, Shalini, as far as STEM education with young kids, I, like Zubeda said too, I think it's really important, especially in middle school. I wouldn't push it too much lower. If a child has a propensity to learn in the academics, 5th grade is great, you know, to get things started, because a lot of parents do come and ask me, you know, some of these kids are really young and I tell them to wait. But when I say to wait, it doesn't mean that they don't do anything. You know, along with science and math at an early age, you have to encourage your kids to read. Reading is important. You know, writing skills are important because it develops their critical thinking skills. You know, even though later on they might pursue science, because as you know, as Indians, we like the sciences, we like the math, we like the technology, and, you know, it's kind of something that, you know, education is important to us as our community. I know IAALV also encourages the arts, which is also very important. So what I'm trying to say is it's a global development of the child, and science education is a critical part of it. You know, it makes you, but also what's important is at an early age, as parents, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but as parents, what's important is you try to figure out what your kid is good at, what's their passion, what is it that you believe as a parent, because nobody knows your child better than you, what you feel your kid is going to excel in. Don't think of getting into college when they're in 5th grade. You know, don't think of making them into geniuses. Just take one step at a time and try to explore different things, whether it is math, whether it is science, different fields of science. Science is so broad. Math is a little bit more structured in our middle school system as well as in the elementary school system. I would encourage parents of the younger kids that's out here to, you know, take what's being taught at school and then go above 1 grade level. And if they absorb it, then go 2 grade levels higher. And then you can go 3 grade levels higher. You know, math is something that can be structured very easily. You know, something that, you know, for kids in middle school, I would say that you can work backwards from where you think you want to be when you're a senior. If you want to be doing, say, multivariable calculus as a senior, then just work backwards, Calc 2 and then Calc 1, and then go backwards and see where you want to fit in when you are in 6th and 7th grade and 8th grade. Now, we also have to remember as parents that middle school is a very difficult time for kids socially, in their social development, especially 7th and 8th grade. So we do have to be cognizant of that, but at the same time, we've got to encourage our kids, not push them, but encourage them. I believe, you know, I mean, there's a term called helicopter parents. We don't want to be helicopter parents. I think that's detrimental to the development of the child. I think what's important is to give them free rein, but give them a direction. You know, honestly, the peer group is very important, because think about us when we were a child. Would you rather study or would you go and play all the time? Mm-hmm. I would go and play if all my friends were playing. My parents are asking me to study, or her parents ask. So it's, you have to develop a good peer group, and that level of camaraderie of competition is good for the kids. I know a lot of kids talk about competition. I tell them you haven't seen nothing yet. There's competition every stage of your life, and middle school is great. I know sometimes kids get competitive with each other, as you know, Charlene, and Science Olympiad. And that's good. It's healthy as long as it's kept open and it's not detrimental to the development of the child. So
that's great. Actually, yeah, that you answered my, the thing I had in mind was that is there a certain age where this can, like, we know that science is, like you said, math is very structured, but science is not much we see in our middle school. The curriculum doesn't offer much. So it's okay to push is what I got. It was a very meaningful message that you gave here, and that parents should maybe take a step back if they don't think they are there yet. But, you know, all play and no work, that's not what we want. So yeah. So that's great. I think for parents who are a little on the fence about it, I think this advice of yours will help them maybe, you know, just push their kids a little bit.
Right.
And those are already inclined, I think it's going to help them too. So any other message you would have for the parents, you know, those who are kind of trying to take a decision about whether or not to push their kids?
Basically, you have to, you know, let the kids explore, you know, give them the tools, and then they can work with those tools. You know, that's very important. You know, instead of forcing them, okay, you have to do STEM. I mean, there are other avenues too, you know, there are other, like, you know, education, like comprehensive education too, not only STEM, you know, related. You know, if the parents want them to do something else, is fine, but, you know, you have to, like, you know, you know, you have to be the facilitator as a parent, you know, let them, like, decide what they want to do. And if they want to go that path, let them do it, you know, okay, fine, you know, because it's not only STEM education will make them, like, you know, like,
right.
You know, whatever, you know, like, you know, a scientist or, you know, so it's whatever the kids want to do, like let them explore and, you know, be passionate about that. You know, if you have the passion for that, then of course you're going to definitely be successful.
Agree. Yeah.
And that's true. You know, I mean, passion is critical to what the child does. But to answer your question as well about what options parents have a lot of options these days, especially through Google University. But what I would say is parents have to be involved. It is not a hands-off approach. Parents have to be involved in the initial years, at least, you know, from the 5th to, I would say, even the 9th grade. And the reason is because kids get kind of lost in a lot of directions, you know, with their friends and peers and things like that. So Science Olympiad, for one, is one option. I know a lot of schools don't have that. The ones that do, I would encourage them to join it. And I know this has a broader reach. Reading area has a lot of programs in the Science Olympiads. And if you don't have a Science Olympiad in your school, like we didn't in 2012, and we started the program in 2012, I would encourage you to begin a program like that with the blessings of the school, because it has to be school-based, and you can run that. It's, you know, it's difficult to get things started, but once you do, it rolls. And, you know, and I would encourage you to start and be a competition to Springhouse. You know, we need competition, because we are now in the top 5 in the nation in terms of where we are. So, you know, it kind of, I believe, and I spoke to Richard Snizak one time, who is the superintendent of our school district. I said, you know, the top 1% or the top 2% or the top 10%, if we raise their bar higher, it drags the whole school higher with them. You know, I know, you know, there was a program that Bush started a long time ago with No Child Left Behind, which is great, but you're pushing the bottom up, which is definitely important, and it's very, very important. But nobody thinks about the top 10% or the top 20%. If you pull them up, you know, it pulls the whole school up like a magnet. So, you know, I think that's one good thing. Independent learning is great. You can encourage your kids to join the Science Bowl, There is the physics Olympiad. There's a science Olympiad.
Biology,
chemistry.
everything.
There's a lot of those options. There's a Lego competition. Talking about competitions, I think it's great. I mean, the reason Science Olympiad is so successful is because we actively took our kids to competitions and we raised their bar when they saw other kids competing. So on a local level too, you can see, you can encourage your kids to go into different competitions, whether it is math. In math, you have the AMC 6, AMC 8. You can check their skills and then encourage them to, go into higher programs. One more thing I would like to say is that even for now with COVID, there's a lot of remote learning. And there are a lot of avenues out there, especially for parents that don't know. There's a Johns Hopkins University CTY, Center for Talented Youth. You can go in there. Then Northwestern University has their Center for Talent Development. Then Duke has a TIPS program. So there are a lot of programs online that you could do, especially in math or also for coding. Coding is something that you can start kids even in elementary school at an earlier age. So I know there are a lot of things that parents can do. So yeah.
Yeah. And just one more thing, I just could read, I know it's not related to STEM, but I would like to read this, it's basically for parents with young kids, with little kids. And this has been there in Sam's office from right from the beginning. He has it's framed and it's kept and it's on the wall of Sam's office. So it's basically for the parents with little kids. Let me read it. Yeah. 50 years from now, it will not matter what kind of car you drove, what kind of house you lived in, how much money you had in your bank account, or what your clothes looked like. But the world will be a better place because you were important in the life of your child. So I really love this.
Yes, that's great. Thanks for sharing that one. That was amazing. And that was very meaningful advice. And I think I'm going to tell our parents to reach out to you guys if they need any advice.
Sure.
One last thing, Shalini. One last thing, and I want to tell this to the younger parents, is I know the effort initially is a lot, but the emotional rewards that you're going to reap later on from your endeavor is going to be huge. And, I'd like that as a takeaway message, because I know, parents are busy. This is a busy lifestyle, but the amount of time you spent in developing your child, and for the kids, your parents have given you a silver spoon because you have the advantages that a lot of people don't. I would like you to take that spoon and change that color. Yeah, make it into a golden spoon.
I mean, for the kids, never stop learning, keep on learning, and ask questions, be curious.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was very helpful, and I'm sure our audience is going to really appreciate whatever advice you've given. And congratulations once again, Dr.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalini.
Thanks a lot for your time today and for all that you do for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Shalini.
So with that, let's move on to our Making a Difference award for this year. For that, we would like to congratulate 2 outstanding kids for their contribution to the society at a very young age. Our first recipient for this award is Udit Garg, who is a senior at Parkland High School. Welcome, Udit.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. Yeah. So let me brief a little bit, give you a little bit of introduction for him. His passions lie in technology and neuroscience. After high school, he will be attending UPenn, University of Pennsylvania. So congratulations on that this fall. In addition to the various school apps, he has been creating apps ever since middle school. If you search up Udit Garg on Google, you will be able to read a lot about him. So he has created a lot of apps, and this one that I would like to mention is that he created a mobile app breathalyzer to prevent drunk driving. Is that correct, Udit?
Yeah.
So it is an iOS app that uses Bluetooth to link a smartphone to a portable breathalyzer. I think that's very innovative. He has received various accolades for it. And he didn't stop there. So while it was COVID, while we were all panicking and thinking what we need to do, he decided to act. And he ran the Coding for COVID-19 initiative, a bit of a tongue twister, I think.
Yeah.
To raise money for the Parkland Cares Food Pantry that helps the local community battle hunger. So it seems like you just don't sit idle, Udit. Will you be able to tell us a little bit more about this Coding for COVID-19 initiative of yours?
Yeah, definitely. So, as you mentioned, I really love technology, medicine, and using technology and STEM to solve problems. And over the summer, I actually thought I could help teach kids, younger kids, middle school ages, and a little bit at the early elementary school, coding and technology skills. And through this, all my profits were given towards the Parkland Cares Food Pantry, and I had a successful program. It was my first program, and I'm looking to continue expanding this, creating a nonprofit, and moving forward to help not only the Parkland Cares Food Pantry, but other food pantries around the world.
That's awesome. That's amazing, and I wish you all the best for that. And so would you have, with all your experience now and now you're a senior at high school, would you have a message for the young kids of today?
Yeah, my main message is follow your passion, no matter what it is. I feel a lot of kids, they really try to follow in someone else's footsteps, try to see what's really popular or conform to what's around them. And I feel it's important to not follow in someone's footsteps, but rather try to leave your own footsteps for someone to follow. You shouldn't care about what others believe, what others are telling you to do, what is most popular. You should try to be you, be original, and do what you love to make a positive impact for those around you. And whether you're starting early, late, in whatever field, sports, academics, arts, music, always try to take the next step and don't give up on the ideas that you're passionate about. When I was trying throughout middle school, when I was making apps and trying to use technology, I always, there's a lot of different failure that I had. It's always important to use the failure you had to turn it into success. And you don't know when one idea that you gave up on can come back later to help you. And I feel that message is really important.
That's an awesome message, that don't let any failures stop what you want to do. Just continue. You're always going to learn from it. So that's great, Udit. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Now I'm really excited about our next recipient for this award, who is a curious and humble young man, Anish Pallod. He's a 7th grader at Springhouse Middle School. And yes, he is a 7th grader. You heard me right there. He's very passionate about chess. He loves computer programming, and he enjoys solving the Rubik's Cube. So in his free time, he also loves to play basketball, soccer. You'll find him outside playing with his friends. But he's a three-time state chess champion. So we are recognizing, on behalf of IAALV, he has used his chess skills to raise money during COVID-19 for the Allentown Rescue Mission. So again, this is another kid, a 7th grader, Anish, who didn't just sit there. He wanted to do something, make a difference. So he ran virtual chess camps that offered safe and fun learning to kids during the pandemic. And the proceeds that he got were donated to Allentown Rescue Mission. Wow. That is something, that's a very noble mission at a young age, Anish. Congratulations for that. And welcome to the show. Anish, do you want to tell us about this initiative of yours a little bit, and how this process, I'm pretty sure this was new to you, this camp that you ran. So how did this whole process benefit you?
So thank you so much, Shalini Auntie, and happy Republic Day.
Thanks.
I would like to say that I kind of like didn't feel very comfortable at what was happening at the rescue mission, especially during COVID-19. It didn't make me like feel very great at some of the circumstances that others were going through. So I really felt that by donating to them, it really made me really feel that I was helping others, and I was benefiting society, and that made me it kind of made me benefit, because I feel like I've learned a lot of new skills throughout this whole camp. I learned how to teach. I was able to enhance my chess skills and especially teach it to others. And I really feel excited because I was also able to contribute to society in that manner.
That's great. So now what do you think about the other teachers of your school?
Oh, they now I like during the whole week, I'd lost my voice. I wonder how they do that, how they don't lose their voice.
So you're pretty sure you appreciate the teachers much more now. Yeah. So that's great. That's a very noble thing that you've done, Anish. And
thank you so much.
You're just a middle school kid. So that amazes me. Actually, that amazes everybody. So congratulations once again.
Thank you.
But I have one more thing. Like, I know other than chess, you also enjoy computer programming. So would you like to tell me about something else that also you're very passionate about?
So I like to computer program, like I find that, being able to replicate things on a computer is so much more exciting, and you kind of get to see, like, you're able to like put your effort into coding something and kind of seeing the result of you just typing a few lines of code and you being able to control a project. It really feels kind of really cool. Other than computer programming, I also like to play board games. I kind of have interest in, that kind of creative aspect.
That's awesome, Anish. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be an inspiration. Young kids are going to look up to you, and there's not an age limit really to start something and follow your passion. That's what I can understand. So thank you. Thanks so much for that.
And thank you so much, Shalini Auntie.
Sure. So there's another quote that I would like to mention here. Mahatma Gandhi had once said, "The best way to find yourself is to use yourself in the service of others." So that takes us to our last but not the least of this segment, the service awards. IAALV has recognized 2 outstanding kids for this year's service awards. We have Arti Dhareshwar with us and Aishani Ramoju with us. We are recognizing them for these awards this year. They are the co-coordinators of the Indian American Youth Association, IAAYG, as we call it, this year. They have both worked as a great team together, were very responsive throughout their term, and they used their strengths as and when needed for various projects, and they've together overcome a lot of hurdles that they came across. So let me introduce them to you briefly. Arti, welcome Arti, you are here with us. Arti is currently a senior at Parkland High School, and along with volunteering for IAAYG, she participates in several clubs and activities through school, which includes orchestra, Asian language, culture club, and March for Our Lives. Arti, being of an artistic temperament, she has designed t-shirts for IAAYG, I believe, the youth t-shirts. She plans to study computer science and business in college next fall. Congratulations, Arti, and welcome to the show once again. I will also introduce Aishani, who is our second recipient for this award, who is also a senior at Parkland High School. And at school, she serves as Vice President of Empowerment Club and has won the title of Best Witness in Mock Trials. That's another club. She is a board member of Teamworks, an organization dedicated to funding teen volunteer projects in the Lehigh Valley. In her spare time, she likes to paint, cook, study different languages, and dance. And I think dance she took to another level by mentoring elementary Bharatanatyam students. Am I correct about that?
Yeah. Hi.
Yes. Okay. And she aspires to complete her undergrad's degree in biochemistry and later wants to pursue medicine and become a surgeon. So that's great achievements, both of you. Welcome to the show. And both of you have helped IAALV in various volunteering activities. Could you tell us how IAALV has helped you grow as a person? Anybody can tell me. Arti, maybe you can start.
Sure. So after about 7 years of membership in IAALV, I truly believe that it has taught me the value of community service as well as of community and just finding the people around you that you connect with. I've been able to mature and grow alongside people of very like mind to me. And I truly think that it has taught me how to live a good and fulfilled life while giving back to others.
That's great. Aishani, what would you like to say?
Well, I agree completely with Arti, but in addition to that, for me personally, it helped me grow socially. I used to be quite reserved, shy in middle school, and after joining IAALV, like Arti said, it was a society of like-minded people, so being able to share my thoughts with my peers really helped me grow out of my shell and become more social.
That's awesome. That's one thing I think all kids look forward to. And I know IAALV is a great program, and we have a great advisor, Mr. Nitin Lad, our very own. He is the advisor for the program. And so instead of me telling the youngsters here, could you tell us why they should be joining IAALV? Like what you have accomplished, maybe you can share. So
sure. So we can start with what we as coordinators tried to accomplish this year. We started off the year, of course, not knowing what was to come, but we had a lot of plans trying to get involved more into the environment, animals, people, and education in our area. And we had made a lot of plans, but due to COVID-19, we had to change our course of action.
Okay. Aishani?
Especially after March, what we noticed was that all of our regular volunteer groups, nothing was really happening. So we sent out like surveys asking people like what they thought they wanted to do. We held virtual meetings, which was one of our goals, to have like regular meetings. And through that, we were able to form tutoring opportunities for students, which would benefit not only the high school students gaining volunteer hours, but also the middle school students that we were tutoring. On top of that, we wanted to continue like Allentown Rescue Mission, especially since like their funds were cut because of COVID-19. So we did a sandwich drive regularly. I think up until September, we were doing the sandwich drive, and we had people submit pictures, and we actually put those pictures on Instagram of people making the sandwiches for Allentown Rescue Mission.
So nothing stops us. Anybody who wants to do, continues to do it. There's nothing that can stop you. Either it's a pandemic or anything else. So that's great. I would encourage all young kids to think about this. Maybe if they get a chance, they should talk to the advisor. Arti and Aishani can help them take their decision and maybe join IAALV. So thank you so much, and congratulations once again for your awards, and congratulations to everybody. Thanks for joining us, taking the time out. With this, I think we will move on to the next segment. We would like to move on to the vote of thanks, and Mr. Kashyap Patel will take over.